Good morning. It's Sunday, October 15th. The big eclipse was yesterday, and I'm outside. I waited a little later to film this at Whitefish because it's now all of 49 degrees outside. It was a little bit colder this morning, so hopefully it's a little bit warmer. Again, Whitefish Lake. Can't really see unless I turn it all the way over here that's the ski hill up there behind it, and this is just the lake, and I like the fall colors behind, so I thought I would do this. So the eclipse was yesterday between Mountain Time 9:17 and 2:20 p.m. 9:17 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. And what I was thinking about as I went into it, and I had listened to I think it's Bracha Goldsmith. I think that's how you pronounce her first name. And she was talking a lot about adversity. And that, there's growth through challenges, and that we can bring things to a head and we can do something about it. And I thought, oh, this is what we're going to talk about. So today's topic is choosing less adversity, right? And sort of knowing that when we're in an eclipse, that it affects all of us. And I brought some cards, 2 cards in particular, to show you. This is the eclipse card that I pulled on the August 17, 2017. August 21st, 2017. And what happens is when there's an eclipse, it affects our antennas. It goes into our nervous system. It impacts us, right? And then there's this card from Osho, which is the 3 of Fire, which is when we experience something, our nervous system also experiences it in nature. So the tree is the same reaction to her. She's spreading it to the tree is spreading it to her. So when we put these two together, we realize that this eclipse was a whole hell of a lot bigger than we thought it was, and we may be still rocking with it. Some say that it's a week before, a week after. Some say that it starts with the eclipse and goes 2 weeks after. I don't know what it is. All I know is that there's an incredible amount of adversity that we're experiencing that we need to address, right? What I do know is that if the eclipse was Saturday, then Friday was a big day, yesterday was a big day, and today is a big day. So let's just talk about that. We're in a tunnel of energy where there's a lot of possibilities. Something's being loosened up within us. It's extreme energy that's stretching and pulling on us, and it's bringing up a lot of symptoms, and especially to our nervous system, right? Which has been tracking it, taking it all in, going, what's going on? Because I can't see anything, or no one's told me of anything that I'm in danger of, but my whole system is on alert, right? So we might have headaches, we might have digestion issues, nausea, scattered thinking. And when I think of the word adversity, it means that there's hardships or afflictions going on, that there's a calamitous event that sort of rocked everything, right? So adversity means that this eclipse was a calamitous event, and it can cause distress and unhappiness. It can also release you and open you up. But when we're in that unhappiness, our tempers could be short. We could be irritable. We are checking out, self-medicating, doing some of the things that we do in order to just numb and make it go away, right? So we're facing things within us, within our systems, that need to be faced, that need to be purged, processed, rebalanced, where there's a disharmony. And so what we're doing is we're redirecting into acceptance, into love, and we're bringing to the surface things that need to be changed. That's what these eclipses do. Whether we want them to or not, they're going to take us into a new version of us, or of you. So I'm wondering if all of these events of last year, the solar flares, the solar storms, everything has been shifting us out of an old pattern of mental control, over processing, and getting us out of our heads into our heart vibration, right? So hear me out. Follow me with this one because I think it's pretty fun, which is that the skills that we've had historically over the last decades, centuries, millennia, right, have been to access information, to strategize, to plan, to implement, and to push forward, right? These are skills that have been really, really valuable to us in business, in government, in positions against enemies, in familial situations when there's takeovers or even in the frontier expansion. Strategize, plan, implement, make sure that you're safe, make sure that you're secure. And these skills or managements have served us. They've served us really well. But what's happening is I think we're upgrading now out of the head, that is the strategy. Here's the linear executive skill set. You do this in this order and it works, right? Where we're coming out of control, out of manipulation, out of accumulation, out of top-down thinking, and we're shifting, especially in this last year, we're being jolted, shifting, dragged unmercifully, right? Out of some of these old behaviors in ourselves, in our bodies, in our lifestyles. And we're being rattled, we're being loosened, we're being released, and it's being taken from us. So we can feel like there's incredible adversity out there, and we can feel traumatized by it. And we can also go, oh, now I have an idea of where we're going with all of this, which is why I'm doing this video on this topic, right? What might be the direction we're going if we're going into a hard vibration? So I want to present yet again the crystalline energy systems, which are vibrational beings. Their vibration, they hold the vibration of love. They are managed by Venus. They started arriving in mass in a seeded population in the late 80s, early 90s. And they do the absolute opposite of all these survival skills that we've learned in our head to process things, okay? So they're gonna organize things their own way. They have their own intelligences. They're neurodiverse. They step forward when they're ready and they can't be pushed. And they don't operate on artificial timelines, like it's due Friday because that's when I want to correct papers over the weekend, right? They will turn it in when they're ready, right? They're extremely creative. They are outside the box thinkers, and they absolutely refuse to be pushed. So if you have a young one, your child or even yourself, and you can reflect back on or at the current moment where you can see this stepping away from cultural norms, right? They can avoid us at all costs when we're trying to push. And the term that I use in the avoidance is turtling. They can just pull their head in, pull their legs in, and just sit. And they are not going to do what we want them to do. And they will not yield to being pushed, threatened, conditioned. I'm going to take this away from you. I'm going to take that away from you. They can be very passive aggressive when they're forced, like, damn it, stop it. And then they can be very mean, and then they can go back into avoidance, right? Or go back into the pace that they need. They will give up almost anything when they feel manipulated or part of an agenda or controlled. Does this sound familiar? Does this feel familiar to you? Right? So the frequencies on our earth have been moving this direction since the early 90s. And I'm wondering if this isn't, as Brach said, a golden invitation to shift you to see and navigate in the world differently, right? It's a golden invitation right now with this eclipse to see it in a different way. Oh, this is amazing. So I have 5 tips for you on how to approach this. Going from thinking into vibration, right? So first and foremost is pay attention to your nervous system. And we've talked about this, but get to know it. When it reacts, how it reacts, what helps it, what doesn't. Decipher what is my energy system, what is my nervous system telling me. So then you become the advocate for yourself and for those around you, and you start to advocate for this really beautiful nervous system that is heightened and tells you everything, right? This is the card within the Osho Zen deck that tells me when I'm dealing with high levels of sensitivity. This is when the nervous system and the body are partnered in a beautiful partnership. Okay, so get to know that energy system. That's what I would say. Number 2, pay attention to your body. Now's the time to not check out and go, my body's been fine up until now. It's always done this works. And pay attention to the food you're eating, how you're hydrating, whether you need movement, whether your old ways are being effective or not. Do you need more sleep or less sleep? Do you need to rest during the day? Are people, places, and things working for you? Maybe it's the old gym, maybe it's this yoga teacher, maybe it's this idea that you can't put in 8 hours sitting in a chair anymore. You have to actually get out and walk at lunch. Find out what your body needs, because what's happening is you're being informed and redirected with what your nervous system needs your body to do and what your body needs you to do. Make sense? Okay, number 3. Pay attention to those growing intuitive skills. We talked about this last week. We talked about this the week before. Your clairs, your sensations, your sensitivities, your dreams, the synchronicities that are happening, the patterns that you're seeing, because they are redirecting you, inviting you. They're playing with you like, oh, sparkle, sparkle, can you see this? Sparkle, sparkle, can you see this? Pay attention to those little nudges, those little tap, tap, taps on the shoulders, and then go play with those messages, because they're surfacing, right? They're coming to the surface for you to pay attention to them. So go find them and follow them and play with them. This is how we deal with our intuition. And here comes a huge train, so we might be able to hear it in the background. Number 4, this word came up and just dropped on me, and I thought, okay, we're going for it. Sequester your schedule this week, which means reorganize your days, pull back, withdraw if you have to. See, there's a train. Nurture yourself. Nurture your little ones. Nurture your love. Nurture your partnerships. Nurture the house. Nurture and make sure that that nervous system, body, and environment are all sort of moving right now, because we are in an enormous download time where a lot of information's been coming in through this eclipse. So if we thought the solar flares were big, having this moon blocking the sun and having the sun rays coming around that into our bodies means that it is affecting every part of us, and we need to sequester ourselves and deal with it this week. So if you can, cancel some things, stay home a little bit more, do what you need to do, because this is going to be really important. Because what you're doing is you're focusing on listening to your body, allowing, playing, resting, being kind to yourself, because you're evolving, and you're evolving into some sort of awareness at all times that there's this vibration that is talking to you and that guides you. And number 5, compassion. Compassion for yourself first, for the hardships that have come to the surface, the shifts, the changes, the endings, the openings, the newness, the unfamiliar possibilities, all of the things that are happening to you right now that are saying, what you're doing has been good up until now. Now we need you to try something different. And that's what I'm here for. You know, I'm a coach. I work with integration. So when things are changing really rapidly, when you don't know what to do, you can drop me a note. You can put a comment here in the video, and you can go like, can we talk? Can I spread all this out, and can we make some sense into what's going on? I would love to do that with you. I would love to do that for you. So just drop me a note and let me know. You can find me also at denisdryden.com and check out the website. Meanwhile, it's fall, it's beautiful. Get outside if you can. Nurture your body, nurture your nervous system, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.